Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 16, Episode 5. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. So the show picks up right where it left off, and I have to tell you, this episode was really not that awesome. The episode picks up right where it left off with Heather being extremely obnoxious and rude to Shannon. Shannon apologizes through the tears, and I just don't know if this is the year of Shannon Storm Bedore or what, but I find myself being Team Shannon this season, and I have never been Team Shannon, not ever. But anyway, Shannon is crying. I feel terrible for her, and Heather tells her that she forgives her, but she better not ever F with her family. And then they have this little pinky promise situation. And I said, you know what, Heather, you are coming off as an absolute bully who thinks that you're better than everyone else. It's getting to be too much. And just when you think that everything is about to be over, here she comes with the whole, you need to apologize to Terry. So now Shannon needs to apologize to Terry. I said, oh my gosh, I'm getting deja vu from The Real Housewives of New Jersey last season when Jackie needed Teresa to apologize to her husband. I said, what the hell is this? Listen, woman, I've already apologized to you way too many times, and you can't just pass it along to your husband. I mean, seriously. Anyway, she sits down and she apologizes to Terry. Terry was much nicer than Heather, but he still asked her why. You know, my thing is, maybe the why is because Shannon has known about this for quite a while. And she says that she wants to be friends with Heather. When Heather mentions Nicole, Shannon thinks about this situation and she's probably a little confused as to why in the world Heather and Terry would be friends with a woman who sued them. I guess she was confused and just wanted to know what the heck was going on. I'm confused because I don't think that Shannon did anything wrong. And if I'm wrong, peeps, please get down in the comments and correct your girl. Let your girl know. I mean, to me, it was Gina who started this. Gina and Emily. I don't know, it was the threats for me. It sent it overboard. It seemed extremely dramatic. You know, as I've always said, Shannon's not my favorite, but she didn't deserve what she got. She's acting as if she's a mob member. I mean, ma'am, you're doing too much. There was a little meme on Twitter about Terry. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong for putting that up there, but I see a tiny resemblance. Anyway, moving on. Shannon is trying to move on, but she's still upset. She has a little conversation with John. John asked her how her talk with Heather went. She lets John know that Heather threatened her. She told him that Heather said that she's going to lose a lot more than her friendship, and it was going to cost her if she messed with her family. And John got a little ticked. He got a little hot under the collar. I'm telling you, John was not here for it. And then you see then you see Shannon and John go over to look at the food at the party. Now, peeps, you all know that I'm always checking out the party food. I hate to say it. I think it was rude how Shannon and John was walking through looking at the food, but I was looking at the food the same way. I didn't recognize any of that stuff except for maybe the rice. I don't know. It must have been good though because Gina was going to town. Anyway, moving on. So for some reason, Jen is concerned about her relationship with Noella. Why? Why? You have that husband who needs to put on a shirt. You've got those beautiful children. You have your practice. You don't need Noella. Noella not liking you should not bother you this much. But Noella bothered me quite a bit.
Is there something I've done to you that has upset you?
Yes, it's not upsetting, it was disturbing. You posted a picture of yourself, poorly lit, thanking your patience, and you tagged me in it. I actually had to report it to Instagram to have it removed.
I don't even remember tagging you. I'm sorry if that upset you.
Who tags somebody that they've met twice in a photo of themselves? That's not even a cute one. I could feel a certain energy from you that you're a little thirsty. I was just thinking, like,
so, honey, this got to be a little ridiculous for me. You drugged this woman's photo for filth. You reported her to Instagram or Twitter or whoever to have the picture taken down. And all of this because she tagged you. I personally think that it was an accident. I don't think she tagged you on purpose. And the whole thirsty thing and she needs some lemonade. Listen, ma'am. Listen, ma'am. Do I think that Jen might be a tiny bit parched? Maybe. But I know for sure you are extremely thirsty, Noella. We saw you traipsing all over the country in the middle of a pandemic with Bronwyn, trying to meet up with all the housewives, doing everything you could to get on the show. And then as soon as Bronwyn is fired and you're on the show, the friendship is over. You and Jen both. Your ex-husband, Sweet James, put a video out stating that that's part of the reason that he was divorcing you is because you pretty much forgot everything about your family, allegedly, because you were solely concentrated on trying to be a housewife. And that you were so busy begging and pleading, renting a big old house in a neighborhood that would allow you to film that you forgot about your marriage, allegedly. So girl, please, when it comes to the thirst, we have the proof. You are the thirsty one. Noella came for Jen as if she was down in Puerto Rico with her husband. And that whole comment when Noella called Jen little girl, I mean, it's just too much. And Noella is younger than Jen, so that was really, really rude. And it can't just be about this stupid picture and a hashtag. It just seems that Noella is in a really sad place right now with her divorce, and she's taking it out on the ladies. By the ladies, I mean Jen and Heather, because she's not able to take it out on Sweet James. That's what I think. You know, when she was on Watch What Happens Live, she did say that she still does not have any credit cards or any money. She says that there was one credit card that is still working, and it's the one that's attached to their Amazon account. So she is purchasing all of their needs through Amazon using that card that's on file. She also stated that she is staying in the house, which she claims she's squatting allegedly in this house, and that she hasn't paid any rent there since November. Sweet James says allegedly that he paid it up until the end of the lease, that the house was just leased for filming for Bravo, and he is not going to continue to pay. So I have no idea what the heck is going on and how she's going to continue to live like this. She says that she will have to live like this until Sweet James signs their final settlement, and she's waiting for him to sign, and he's taking too long. So Jen is licking her wounds in the corner, getting herself a little drink, and she's over there telling Heather about the situation and how she feels about the way Noella treated her, and how she told her that her picture was poorly lit and it was very unattractive, and how she says that she was tagged.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't like the condescending talk.
you just told me I offended your religion by saying Tom Ford is God. That is ridiculous. I just had the worst week of my life,
I
sweetheart.
just reached out
and
to you to ask if you need.
little girl. You are
So personally, I think this is ridiculous. Every last person in this group, on this cast, I believe they're all over 35. Are we really arguing about selfies and hashtags? This can't be all about selfies and hashtags. It cannot be. Listen, somebody should have poured her and her drink into a Bravo SUV and sent her home. Girl, gone home. Then they all sit down for this dinner. Heather is meeting Travis for the first time, Gina's boyfriend, and Shannon gets upset because Heather invites Gina and Travis out to the track. And Shannon says, who just made up with Heather, that it was rude and tacky for her to invite people to an event that the other people at the table were not invited to, and she feels that she's being blackballed. Ma'am. And then she makes the comments that she guessed she's not going to be invited to events with Heather. Ma'am, you were just threatened, okay? She just looked you in your face and told you how she was going to make your life miserable. If you mess with her or her family again, shouldn't you just stay clear? Why do you want to hang out with Heather? I mean, Fancy Pants is not the funnest person to be around, clearly. Go on somewhere, girl. Then Emily comes out and says something about she won the lottery when she married.
Won the lottery when I married you 13 years ago.
Well, everybody usually does win $1 or $2 when they play the scratch offs. I'm just saying, Shane is definitely not the Powerball jackpot, in my opinion. And don't get in my comments talking trash to me about talking down on Shane. I'm not a fan. It is what it is. What I did think was funny is Shannon goes out to dinner with her kids and her dad. And you remember him. Kelly used to call him Big D Daddy. Well, he now goes by Gene the Machine. And you know what I said? If you are 92 years old and you are still getting it, you're able to go over to the Quiet Lady and hang out until midnight and still get up the next day. Gene the Machine it is. You can say whatever you want, Gene.
And here's Dean Martin sitting next to me. And he said, my God, Gene said, why are we here so early?
They don't know who Dean Martin is.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin.
Honey, listen, those kids didn't have a clue who Dean Martin, the Rat Pack, Sammy Davis Jr., they don't know any of that. None of it. As a matter of fact, one of Shannon's kids asked, how do you spell pack? I said, oh my gosh, we've got bigger problems. I'm just saying, we've got bigger problems. Her dad did mention at dinner that maybe once the girls go off to college and Shannon has an empty nest, she'll come about a mile down the road, spend some time with her daddy. I said, oh, dang, girl, your daddy lives a mile away and you don't see him? I don't understand that. Then later in the episode, we see her talking to her mom, and her and the girls are getting ready to go down to Tennessee to visit her mom who lives in Nashville. And we find out that her mom's lived in Nashville for 10 years, but Shannon's only been to visit her once. But she continues to say how important her family is. And I said, well, daggone it. We have seen in prior seasons her mom came to visit her, but why can't you fly down to see your mama? You know, we also later see her in a scene with Noella when she is talking about how much stress she has, and she's so worried that she's not going to have enough money to take care of the kids' college and all this stuff. And it triggered me a tiny bit because I don't make anywhere near what Shannon makes for being a housewife, what she made in her divorce settlement, all of that stuff. And I still have to pay for my son's college. And I'm thinking, Shannon, your stress is self-imposed because all you need to do is downsize, ma'am. Downsize a little. Stop being so razzle-dazzle, so glitter and glamorous, and you would be able to budget in paying for these kids' college. If I can pay for my son to go to The Ohio State University, honey, listen, I know you can pay for them kids to go to school. You have a ton of money versus my tiny check. Girl, quit playing with us. Regular people have problems. You need to budget. I'm just saying. My other piece of advice for you, Shannon, is your dad is 92. I have no idea how old your mama is. Spend some time with your parents, okay? We also find out that Heather's daughter, Max, has written a book that will be coming out soon. The book is going to be about her navigating her life and her sexuality as a teenager. I think this is going to be a really interesting book, and I can definitely understand how proud Heather and Terry would be of Max. So congratulations to Max on her new book. So why Noella and Shannon are at this Reiki appointment, Noella is still going on and on about Jen in this post. Girl, settle down. Pipe down. This is ridiculous. You should be somewhere online trying to apply for jobs. Talking to an attorney, something. Ma'am, back off on Jen in this post. Shannon tells her how she was threatened by Heather, and for once in this episode, I agree with Noella's response.
Who are you? You don't speak, I mean, we're not in your court here. You are not the queen on your throne. Heather is not better than you. Heather is not right in this, and you don't, stop taking
You're very kind, thank you.
I'm starting to see Heather is very manipulative and she's controlling. It's not cool.
Heather is no better than anybody else. Heather is not better than Shannon or any of the other women on the cast. Heather is not better than any of the people watching this video. Girl, you just happen to have more money. I'm speaking for myself. I don't know how much money you got, peeps. I'm just saying I don't have no money. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. Nicole shows up to Jen's house with a $3,000 Louis Vuitton bag full of cheese. Now, first of all, why? Why would you roll a $3,000 Louis Vuitton bag to some woman's house with cheese? And you didn't even have enough cheese to fill up the entire bag. Talking about she brought it in the bag because she couldn't get all the cheese in one bag. Well, put it in 2 bags and carry it in here like a normal person. I'm just
Year that I've known her. Like, the stories keep changing. We're married, we're not married. It's just, it's all very
obviously
confusing.
they are married.
Are they?
Because he can't file for divorce if they're not married.
Are they?
They had a
I
legal...
don't know.
I can understand Jen being a little confused. Now, first of all, ma'am, Emily, stop getting in people's business. I've really had it with you. You haven't had a storyline in 2 seasons. Last season or this season. Everything you have done the last 2 seasons have been run and tell this, run and tell that. Let's focus on everybody else's issues, but don't talk about me and Shane. Don't look at our family, not too close. Stay out of other people's business for a change. Get a storyline next season, or Bravo, don't bring her back. But anyway, I can understand Jen a little confused about Noella because in one of those online interviews or videos that Sweet James posted, he did say that they had gone back and forth way before they really truly got married. They had been dealing with each other for 6 or 7 years. He was going through a separation, then he went through a divorce. After 6 or 7 years, or at some point, they finally got married, but they've only been married for 1 year. So that's why Jen was confused. However, Emily was right when she said, well, clearly they're married because he filed for divorce. I don't know why Jen thought that she should come back with the, are they? Really? Well, clearly so. It was in the paper. It's been all over the place. The man filed for divorce. She told you about the papers and everything she got. I'm just saying. One thing that was not missed on me is Nicole sat right there while this whole conversation was going on, and she was a part of the conversation of Jen trying to trash Noella. I don't understand. That is not friendship to me. I mean, Emily is always doing the most, and she's always reporting. Anytime anybody sits down and has a conversation with her, whether it's a group conversation or a private conversation, you can always believe that it is going to be reported. She's going to report it. And the comment that she made that Dr. Jen was trying to convince everybody that Noella is unlikable, I don't think so. Noella is proving that she could be unlikable from time to time. I'm not saying that I don't like Noella, but there are things about her that I don't like, period. And everybody has the right to decide who they like and who they don't. And did anybody notice that a little bit of Emily's boobie was popping out of her outfits? And I was wondering, why is production or none of the girls saying, girl, your shirt is too low and put it in? I mean, I'm just saying, it wasn't a whole boobie out the way Cynthia on the Real Housewives of Atlanta always seems to have. Emily does say something that I do agree with. She says that they do need to sit Nicole down and have a real conversation with her and let her know the truth and not pacify her, but also let her know that she can't just go around disrespecting people. Now, Jen tried to diagnose her mental health. Girl, listen, you do cosmetic. You know, you are not a mental health provider. Stop that. So we see a little more how much of the Kool-Aid Gina is drinking of Shannon. Gina is enjoying her time with Shannon. She is enjoying the perks and the benefits of hanging out. You know, she says that she's got champagne taste and beer budget. And we know, so do I. I'm just saying. I just want to know how long it's going to be before Gina is so far up Heather's butt that her and her best friend Emily are going to fall out. At some point, you best believe before this season ends, Gina is going to side with Heather about something that Emily is not okay with, and they are going to fall out. And it's so crazy because Gina keeps bringing up how amazing this place is, how classy this place is. This is such a fun day. We're having a great time. We're sitting around all this money and all these people with money. But let's talk about Noella. I just can't believe that you are sitting here right now at this racetrack talking about Noella, the way she treated Jen, that she said not to trust Heather. Now Heather is concerned about inviting her to Max's book release party. Listen, I don't think it was a time or a place, and I really don't think it's a big deal. Clearly, Heather is aware that Noella doesn't like her. Don't invite her to the party and move forward. Why is this a big deal, and why is this a discussion? And I would also like to know the humping on Terry's lap, that was a little much. I mean, dang. It seems to me that Heather is absolutely using Gina, and she's using her with these lavish events. She's given Gina a taste of her lifestyle, which is pulling her in further and further to Heather. It seems to me that Heather is using Gina as if she's a little minion. So Emily stops by Noella's house, and for some reason, Noella needs to whisper. And it's
whispering because there is some surveillance equipment and a potted plant somewhere. So we're being very hush hush. I don't know. It's very odd. But I was gonna go with it.
I'm with Emily. I mean, is there surveillance equipment around here? What is this about? I mean, seriously. So when they're in this whisper conversation, I feel like I'm listening to a yin yang twin. So, you know what I mean? Anyway, moving on. Oh my gosh, that tells you a little bit about my music interest. Anyway, she whispers to Emily that she loves him, but at this point, she doesn't know if she'll ever be able to take him back into her heart and into her bed. And I said, ma'am, he has sent you divorce papers twice. He has moved to Puerto Rico. He has cut you off. He's not coming back, ma'am. You don't have the opportunity to take him back into your bed, ma'am. You just don't. Emily takes it upon herself to let her know everything that Jen said when they got together. I don't know, you guys. Every time I see Emily sit down with people and she acts as if she really cares about them, she's interested in them, I want to just scream. Don't trust her, because everything you tell this woman always ends up being told. And she sits there and acts as if she's this sweet woman who is so concerned. But what she's really there for is to try to hold on to her orange by spreading all of this business. Emily just comes off as being so conniving. I don't know, you guys. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.